we got to start this video out with some good news and some bad news, unfortunately. The good news is we got our white oak door installed. It is glorious. So you may remember this door. We built this, I want to say like 2 months ago, but we just recently installed it. We got it pre-hung. We built the jamb for it and just installed it as a pre-hung door that you would order from a door factory. And it was a good feeling. Everything went smooth, and then we trimmed it out with that Greek Revival casing like we did over here on the laundry room. The bad news, I recorded it all and formatted my memory card. So you just have to take my word for it that that's what happened. But that really is the bad news. I recorded all of it, documented it, and just bonehead mistake. But at least that doesn't change the fact that it's done and it looks so good. I love the look and it looks super classy without being over the top. I mean, this beautiful contrast of the white oak with the trim. We haven't picked out a trim color yet, but it will be something light. Ashley chose a beautiful glass knob for the hardware. It's a mortise lock set, which I love. Just feels really crisp. And then we've got brass hardware, which we're gonna go throughout the house. And we're using lacquered brass. Some of the items I bought here while doing these renovations have been unlacquered brass. And I realized I really don't like unlacquered brass. I like the brass to keep its shine and just stay looking fresh. The unlacquered brass is what you want to use if you want something that you want it to kind of age with time and give it like a patina. But I figured out I don't like that. I just like to look crisp and shiny. So next thing we got to do, this isn't complete yet. I'm going to show you guys, we're going to mill our own doorstop. It's going to be white oak. I've got some questions about it on the laundry room door. So we're going to do that today. I'll show you how I do that simple piece of molding, but I think having it match the door is really a game changer. It's those little details that I just love manipulating, and it's just like brings the thing just so much charm and character. That will complete the installation for this, and it just looks so good with that Greek Revival casing and everything. And we did pick out our baseboard as well. I'll share that with you. This is coming together so good. It's taking so long, but it's so worth the wait to do these things right. Other updates, let me share with you. We've got our floor in, fireplace in. This vision is really coming to reality.
So I came in to check on him last night to see how the floor was going, and I love it. I don't think we realized like how just much more room we were gonna have. Like we considered it, but it's hard to envision like what it's gonna be like until it's there. And just having all the floor down now and to be able to like walk over there, you can tell that it's gonna be a lot of room. It's gonna be great. Like to be able to fit furniture across here now. This is gonna be the living room. The walk space is gonna be there. Maybe some kind of nook or something over here where you can read, or some shelves. I don't know, I just feel like we have a lot more opportunities to work with now that we have all this space. Like we just opened up like space that was not being used. So I'm really looking forward to coming up with some pictures and some ideas of what I can get Richard on.
Well, I'm happy to hear all this because throughout remodeling, it can put a strain on your family. And if the boss is happy, happy wife, happy life. And I think what's cool about it is you're seeing the vision really come to life. Like I spend my life on job sites seeing stuff go from like, you know, framing to finish. And a lot of people aren't used to that. So it can be like when she sees the walls open and the concrete floor, like she gets a little worried. And now that you can see, you know, I framed this a few videos back, and then I've got my top one going up there. I got to complete the header and do the other cripples. That's going to go, and then that can be insulated and drywalled. Same thing over here, and it's really just this moment of, hey, this is going to work. And
but you can see too, like what's going to happen. Like now that you can see these frames, you can see like, oh, okay, this is how the window's going to look. And
I think the biggest thing about both of us, I think we're both very visual people. Yeah. I don't like visual as in we need to see it, not that we can like imagine it. Like, I need to see it.
Some people can just like say like this and point out like what they want, but I feel like I gotta like put it there. I've taken like pictures on my phone and try to like just look at it and see if that works and stuff. It's very difficult to see like, is this gonna look right? And I think a lot of times you won't know until you get there.
For sure.
And don't be afraid to like change it. Like
absolutely.
If you need to change it, do it. I mean, that's why we redid the floor over there. That's why he had to do all that extra work, because after we did the floor, we saw like we're missing opportunity. We need to move the fireplace. And it was more work, and it's going to be more time and money, but luckily Richard has all that, so it worked out really good.
Yeah, right.
No, but it needed to be done.
I'm very limited on both of those, to be
all
honest.
Of it.
yeah, all of it.
But it's okay. It's going to happen, and we're
eventually
enjoying it. Yeah, we're enjoying just seeing things change, and it's going to be great one day, and we could just sit down. Maybe it'll be winter time. We have the fireplace going.
For sure.
Watch It's a Wonderful Life on our new comfy leather cold sofa. But it's okay. We'll have the fire. But
well,
it's gonna be great.
We've got tons of plans for the rest of this house, so I
wouldn't
wouldn't get settled
that side
in
of the house,
quite
that
yet.
whole corner.
Yeah,
I mean, look, guys. There's no windows back here.
It's crazy.
I hate it.
And there's a beautiful scenery out there. Our neighbors
is there.
Our neighbors have all these trees. It looks so cool, and like we're gonna be able to look through these big windows and see this trees. So
it's gonna be great. Can't wait. So
perfect.
Get to work. Just kidding.
She's not kidding, but here's the molding we're gonna be making. This is a doorstop profile. It's a flat stock with a radiused edge, and it measures 1.25 inches by 3/8 of an inch. So I'll get the planer ready and mill a piece of offcut down, basically till I get it to 1.25 inches. This is the easiest way because I'm gonna be ripping this in strips. So I've got more than enough here, and just run it through a couple times. This started off as like a 1.5 inch piece, and now I've got it down to 1.25 inches. So we're ready to put the radius on, and to do that I'm just going to use a radius bit with a trim router, and then I'll get that radius across the face of it and just run it all the way down my board. And then once I have that radiused edge on there, we can check it with our actual profile, and it looks like a good match. So then we just got to rip it down to the thickness of this, and that measured 3/8 of an inch. So I got the table saw set up at 3/8, and then we're just going to push it through. Once we push it through, that's it. We have our molding profile milled, and you can see here that's the doorstop. This is typical doorstop on any interior door. So to make more of it, I'll just repeat the process. And I'm doing this at an 8-foot piece of white oak, so I'll have to do this 3 times in total to get enough material to trim out this door with the doorstop. So after that very simple milling process, we end up with 3 pieces of our doorstop material, and these are 8 foot long, so more than enough to trim out that little door. And this material was left over from the material from that actual door, so just using scraps to do this. With this doorstop molding, we have that straight edge and that rounded edge. We want that rounded radiused edge away from the door and that straight flush edge against the door. And the way we'll install this, we'll actually close the door, get it in that latched position, and install the doorstop right up against it. And the doorstop does exactly what it sounds like. It stops the door from swinging through the opening. So if you didn't have this here, I don't really want to do it, but it's gonna, like, you know, screw around with my hinges. But this could keep coming and essentially rip the door off the hinges the other way. So it serves that purpose, and it also serves the purpose of hiding the gap, the reveal gap between the door and the jamb. So that's right where it goes, flat edge against the door. Door comes in and hits it right there. I am going to go chop those up, bring them back. We will be installing with an 18 gauge brad nailer. You can use pins on small moldings, but since the function of this piece of molding is to stop the door, I don't trust pins to do that. So we use brads, and brads are kind of the middle ground. I would not want to use any kind of finish nail on this, especially with it being stain grade. It's just gonna leave too big of a hole. So I got our 3 pieces of stop here. What I like to do with this stuff is, like I said, close the door, and then you can add the top piece. So we'll add the top piece, and we're just gonna push it up against the door. We're not gonna put pressure on it. We're just gonna let the door kind of fall into its natural position while it's latched, and then put this up against it. We want it touching it, but we don't wanna put any resistance to the door because it's just not gonna be, it's gonna like bind up and be weird, especially on the hinge side. So this looks good right here. I can go ahead and shoot this in. And you don't have to blast this thing. You just 3 nails for the top one, that's it. So now this should work as a stop. Perfect, that's exactly what we want. Before I had that piece on there and the door, like I showed you, would swing through and you had to kind of control it with your hand. But now you can literally just pull the door and it's gonna stop it every time, right in that perfect position. So for this side, we're gonna actually open the door up and then put our piece in and then close the door because I can't really get this in the proper position because I already have the door hardware on and it's hard to like knock it past. I could bend it out because this molding is very flexible, it's thin molding, but again, the door hardware is there. So we'll get this in position like this. I'm just gonna do a dry fit first because I will put a little bit of glue on that joint. Close the door, bam, it's exactly what we wanna see. So open it back up and get that glue on there. That looks good right there. Check this side out. Perfect. And then over here on this setup, just real quick, this is where I was getting a lot of questions through the process of where did I get this doorstop? Did I make it? What is it? Of course, we went over that today. It is white oak, and yes, I did make it as you saw. And I made it here for the same reasons I made it over there on the powder bath, and that is when the door is closed, you still have the white oak from your perspective. You could do it in paint, but I feel like it would diminish the size of the door. And it would be fine, it's a small detail, but that's why I did it nonetheless. And the other things it does, it acts as a transition for paint color. So this paint color is that navy, obviously for this room. Whatever we choose here will be on this side of the doorstop. So it's pretty cool how it kind of serves those two purposes. Check it out, you ready? Listen. That's crispy right there.
Yeah, that's nice.
Too
nice.
airtight. It is freaking nice.
This is so pretty right here.
I like it a lot too. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about the egg knob, but I like it a lot. It feels good in the hand, and it's just good.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, what are we doing next?
Hopefully some insulation. It's like, it says 95. My car's at 100.
Okay, it is really kind of getting a little warm in here. I need to get on that. They're coming to do the fireplace thing, then I can do framing and insulation. So we'll get into that next time.